Welcome back to MJL 3764 collecting Elvis on vinyl. Today, being the month of June, I thought we'd show some Christmas albums. As it says on the back cover of the Camden release, that the artistry is so good on these recordings that they can be played all year round. As regards the Camden albums, we've looked at these on a previous video, so I won't highlight these albums, but we will take a look at the others. The first Christmas album released in the UK was in 1957 and looked like this. Elvis Christmas album. It's had a laminated front and back cover. With the half moon top and bottom, and featured some pictures. This is the very first pressing on the large silver spot. Good heavyweight vinyl, this one. The album's cover's a little bit beat up. This was actually an eBay purchase. As you can see, it's got a mark there and some sellotape residue down the side. But this one goes for quite a pretty penny, so I was happy to get that one. This has been issued about 6 or 7 times, this album, all the way from 57 up to 80, 81. So that's the very first press. This is the later press. This is around 64. Same front cover. Slightly different on the back, as it doesn't feature any pictures. Just compare it with the original release. Yeah. Of course, it doesn't have the half moon. This release was on the red dot. Probably the rarest issue of this is the 1969 orange label copy, which was offered to me a few years ago. The guy wanted quite a lot of money for it, so I turned it down. In hindsight, I wish I would have bought it, but there you go. And this is the latest copy that came out in 81. This is slightly different. As you can see, the picture looks brought forward a little bit more so than this one. It obviously doesn't have the colour photo courtesy of Paramount Pictures in the bottom, and it's got the RCA International at the top instead of the box on the original one. And the back cover has ads for other international releases, because this was on the green RCA International label. A lot of Elvis albums were issued 81, 82 on this label in the UK. So that's the back cover. Same track listing. And the labels on the green RCA International. 1971, another Christmas album was released. Elvis Sings The Wonderful World of Christmas. And this, to me, is the worst album cover issued in Elvis's lifetime. I really don't like this cover at all. That cover looked like that. We've had for 2 religious albums and the Camden Christmas album. This was on the orange gloss RCA label. That's the English copy. Here's a latter American issue. Also on the orange. And this has ads for the 2 religious albums on the back with the reissue cover of His Hand in Mine. Here's a French copy, the same album. Again, it's got the big RCA left hand side. It's on the orange. And the back cover featured as ads again, the 2 religious albums, and this time we've got You'll Never Walk Alone as well. So they've all got different back covers. That's the French one, that's the latter American one, and that's the original English one. This album was issued again in 1979 in a 10 times better cover, I thought, so let's take a look at that. So here's a 1979 repress. This was on the blue Elvis label. I thought a 10 times better cover. There's the label. And the back cover looked like that. There are obviously earlier copies of this. The first ones featured an insert with this picture, which I'm still looking for. So that's something I need to add to my collection. On the 1979 issue, the picture was printed on the back. Same album, this one's on the orange. This is a German press. And the back covers the same. Now, as mentioned previously on an earlier video, there was a single in the US release, "O Come O Ye Faithful," with this, with a picture sleeve. It's something that I need to own. It's very expensive to get here in the UK, but I probably will end up paying silly money and picking it up one day. 1979, there was a single issue from this, which was on 12-inch. Here's the 12-inch release, which reached number 13 in the UK charts in 1979. Deserved to go much higher, I thought. Single was It Won't Seem Like Christmas Without You, backed with Merry Christmas Baby, with Elvis's picture on the label there. Cover looked like that. Christmassy, and the back cover looked like that. That's the front picture. Let's take a look at the back of the label. And that's the back. Nice looking record for its day. Recently I did a video on Neverland's releases. I pulled this one from that release because I thought it would fit in better for this Christmas video. This is A Merry Christmas from Elvis Presley. It's come out in 1982. This is actually the Wonderful World of Christmas album in a different sleeve. Picture of Elvis there from Go Happy. Back cover looks like that, with ads for other artists. And the record's on the black RCA international label. So that's a nice variant to look out for of that album. I believe we're going to continue the Christmas albums onto the next video, as we're getting near the 15-minute mark and I don't like the videos to run much longer than 15 minutes. There's still a few albums to show, and in my haste I've missed out a few singles. So let's quickly look at these. You've seen the 12-inch of It Won't Seem Like Christmas Without You. Of course it was available on a 7-inch as well, which looks like that. On the blue Elvis label, that's the B-side, Merry Christmas Baby. On the very first album, the 1957 album, there was a single in the UK issued, which looked like that. Santa Bring My Baby Back to Me, backed with Santa Claus Is Back in Town. This was also available as a 78 as well as a 45. 78 looks like that. This one I've just taken from the wall. Don't think it's playable, but that's the example of the 78. Number 7 in the UK charts, 1957. And when this album was reissued in 1980, they lifted a single from it, which wasn't heavily promoted unfortunately, and only got to number 41 in the UK charts. The single was Santa Claus Is Back in Town, backed with I Believe, and a picture sleeve. It was on the blue Elvis label. And the back cover had an ad for the 1981 official calendar. Now, as most fans know, 7 years after this album was released, a single in 1964 was lifted from it, and this was Blue Christmas, and this got to number 11 in the UK charts. Obviously the reason for lifting this track was most of the material Elvis was recording at the time was movie soundtrack stuff, so they were short of good studio material. The B-side was White Christmas. And there's the variant single. There's also another single here with Blue Christmas, back with Santa Claus Is Back in Town. This is an American copy, which was easily available in the UK. Okay, I think we'll wrap it up for now. So just remember, while there's music, life's no waste. See you shortly.